Hello YouTube, this is VJ from Wedding Documentary, and I'm here with a very special comparison video. Two lights that I think are really important for wedding filmmaking. The first on the left is the light that we've been using for the past few years now, is the Dedo DLH-4 light, which is a Fresnel plug-in power traditional bulb style light that we use for wedding receptions. We place it up in the corners of the room, and it has a dimmer. It allows you to dim from 0 to 100%. It also allows you to move forward and backward the bulb so that you can get more of a spot, and then also you have the barn doors. On the right is the light that I just received from B&H, like literally just now. And that's the Kinotechnik Practilite 602. A lot of people have been raving about this light. It's somewhat new, hasn't been out quite as long because it is LED. It is able to be adjusted in terms of color temperature from daylight to tungsten. It's also dimmable from 0 to 100%, and it does take battery. So the big difference between these two lights is that one has to be plugged into a wall and it gets very hot, which is the Dedo. And then the Practilite can take V-mount battery. It can also take other batteries, and you can plug it in instead of plugging it into the wall, and then move it much closer to your action. So for weddings where we don't have a wall outlet, or it's taken up by uplighting, or you're in a tent, maybe an outdoor wedding, having something that's movable, doesn't rely on plugging into a wall is very, that sounds like a great idea to me. So what we're gonna be doing here is turning off one light at a time. And currently, sorry about that, I'm also using my brand new Sony a6500. Literally, I've never filmed anything with this camera yet. So this has got the 35mm lens. We're shooting at 50th of a second at f4.5. And currently right now, let me just turn this on. So right now we have the Dedo on and the Practilite. Both of these are set at 100%, meaning this is fully on. This is 100% on. So both the Dedo and the Practilite are on right now. And we're gonna be looking at this wall over here. So I'm gonna reposition the camera. So, and I'm gonna tap focus. Thank God for a touch screen, huh? I'm a Canon shooter mostly. This is my first Sony camera. Thought I would get this to use as a travel camera and maybe use on a gimbal, and also just have as an extra angle, and possibly dabble in a little bit of the Sony system. So what we're gonna be looking at is this wall. I'm doing this test because I've never seen a test between these two lights online on YouTube or anything. So I wanted to do this test because this is my #1 question. Is the Dedo much brighter? Is it better to stick with the traditional Fresnel lens, or is it better to move into this new realm of LED? So right now, this currently is just the Practilite. This is 100%, and it is at 3000 Kelvin, and which is the warmest it goes. I'm shooting, currently I think I'm on tungsten white balance on my Sony camera, but I just want to see how bright it goes. So here's the little difference in terms of making it daylight. It's going back to tungsten, and here's the dimming function all the way to 0. So not 0 actually. So it doesn't go all the way down. It goes to 5%. 5% gives you this much light and goes up from here. So this is 100%. Now, if I'm far away, 100% is usually what I use on my Dedos. But if I can move these lights closer, maybe I don't need to go to 100%, right? So now here's the big test. We are gonna turn off one and turn on the other. So here we go. We're turning off this and turning on that. So now we're looking at the Dedo light. Basically, I have it set to its widest function. It can also be zoomed in. We can also do a spotlight, but right here is its widest function. you know, I apologize for the arms in the foreground, but you know, I'm on this 35mm lens. I don't own another Sony lens yet, and my adapter hasn't shown up. So, but you get the point. You're just looking at brightness on the walls. So this is 100% full power on the Dedo light. It also dims down to, let's just get this down. Oh, it dims down to pretty much almost, you know, very low and goes all the way up. So that's the Dedo in terms of dimming. It's very smooth. It's very nice. And it's got the barn doors and everything, so we can further flag the light, which is nice when you're shooting from far away, the lights, and you want to flag them from being on hitting different tables in a reception room, for example. I'm just going to pull these barn doors back out. But let's do a quick test here. Let's just keep looking at this, because I'm very, you know, this is the big question for me. I mean, I'm pretty much ready to go LED, but I want to make sure that these lights are going to stick up to the task. So here we go. This is both lights. This is just the Kinotechnik Practilite. Let me turn this off again. This is just the Dedo. So take a look at that. This is just the Practilite. Practilite is smoother, and it's illuminating a lot more. What is this? Oh, whoa. Okay, so here we go. The back knob that I haven't even adjusted yet, this allows you to do more of a spot. So this is as spotty as it gets. This is as wide as it gets. So when it does the wide, it almost really just reduces the spot, like it's not even really spot at all. And then when it gets close, it's just very pinpoint. So that's really cool, actually. So let's just leave it at kind of wide so that they're both equal. So again, we're looking at this, we're looking at that. We're looking at this, and we're looking at Dedo. Now, the big advantage of the Practilite is the ability to change the color temperature. So really what we're able to do here is just really go from a daylight to tungsten and basically everything in between, which means if you're trying to color correct this for maybe blue uplighting, if you are indoors shooting corporate, you know, this light is going to be more versatile. I've never brought my Dedos with me to a corporate event where I knew we were going to be shooting with a lot of window light, because I knew, you know, if I wasn't going to gel it, it wouldn't really be up for the job. So I have other LED panels that I bring for corporate work. But basically, I wanted to compare these two lights. Let's show the lights a little bit. So this is the Kinotechnik, and this is the Dedo. And so yeah, you can see these two lights. I think I'm definitely keeping the Kinotechnik. I mean, it's awesome. What's great about it is that it has this XLR in the back here. It's very low profile cord. The Dedo has this huge, let me get focused here, sorry about this. Has a huge, you know, thing basically to be able to, basically, hold on, let me get focused here. To be able to dim it. So that is kind of ugly, and it kind of shows up in the footage in the background of our receptions. So all in all, I'm really quite impressed with this lighting purchase. It's $1,000 on B&H. The Dedo is about $750 or something like that. The Dedo, you do have to carry spare bulbs. The Practilite, I don't think I'm gonna have to worry about bulbs because it's LED. I also, they're roughly the same size. Practilite is bigger, but it's also doesn't have that big dimmer switch. So the dimmer makes it not as big because the dimmer on the Dedo is kind of big. So all in all, I'm really impressed. I don't want this video to go too long. If you like this video, please comment, share it, and subscribe, and I will post a ton more good stuff for you soon. So thank you so much. This is the Practilite 602 and the Dedo DLH-4, a very popular wedding filmmaker reception lighting unit. Thank you so much, and see you soon.